Downsizing a home is something many of us face at some point in life, and it can feel a little like a daunting task, especially for an older adult, but it doesn't have to be. No one knows that better than our friends at Splendido, who have helped hundreds of people make the move to their all-inclusive community in Oro Valley. Joining us to talk more about it is Gail Morgan and move-in coordinator and designer Marissa Panzarella. You guys, thank you so much for coming back.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Gail, as we've said before, and I have had lots of great feedback from people wanting to know more about Splendido. Let's kind of give an overview first.
Excellent. Splendido is a 55 or better active adult life plan community. So you move to Splendido, you select a beautiful home. It can be a terrace home, which is kind of apartment-like, or a townhome like a villa. They're not small. They go from 900 square feet to 3,000. And yet when you move to Splendido, you get a beautiful lifestyle with restaurants and fitness centers, a day spa, services like housekeeping, transportation, but you're also pre-planning that down the road, should you need assisted living, memory support, or skilled nursing, it's available right on site, and you even pre-plan how much is going to be included in your future lifestyle.
And I did mention at the very beginning that some people may feel that downsizing, they're a little reluctant. Maybe they're feeling like it's a little overwhelming. How do you kind of address that?
You know, it's the number one thing that we hear is so many people, 70, 75, they've been in their homes so long.
Yeah.
We tend to be like fish, we grow to the size of our bowl. And so the number one daunting task is how on earth could I ever possibly downsize into a home?
Yeah.
So Splendido does two things. We offer large homes, and then we offer a whole host of services to help them with that.
And you actually help in one of those. And
Absolutely.
I mentioned it also at the beginning, hundreds of people that you have helped in this process. Where do you even start when this is the idea that we're going after?
You know, you need to assess the issue with them first of all. How much stuff do they have? What do they want to do with that? Where do they want to get started? Typically, I usually tell them, we've got to allow you at least 6 weeks to get this stuff started, so you don't have to do the whole process at once, because it can be very daunting and it can be very discouraging. You can get discouraged right away and then put it away and decide not to do that. So what we said is, like, let's just take it, in manageable steps. Perhaps you want to start with drawers. You want to start with the bathrooms and things that don't have any emotional attachment.
Yeah.
The garage and things of that nature. And then move forward from that. If the task becomes a little too complicated or a little too emotional, then leave it alone and then come back another week later or a couple of days later. So it's starting, just kind of digesting it, the process slowly, so it doesn't become overwhelming.
I think that's the word we're kind of looking at right now, is people are feeling overwhelmed, but I love that philosophy. Take it a little bit at a time.
Exactly.
Start in one place. The first step is always the hardest one to take. And Gail, as we were kind of talking about, letting some things go, and making those decisions, and some feel maybe a little bit fearful of that, but I also kind of would feel that it's maybe a little freeing as well.
Oh my gosh, one of the things we hear more than anything is, I was so afraid of downsizing and letting go of pieces that I considered treasures and memories. But after they moved to Splendido, almost the number one thing they say is, my memories are still with me, and I feel free that I don't have all of this stuff. And so not only is the move wonderful for them in a new lifestyle, but the whole downsizing ends up being freeing. They have the memories, they have their treasures, but then they have, a lot more opportunity.
So once we go through that portion of it, we've gone in, we've taken the time and the patience to go through everything. How do you help with the process of now setting up in a new place?
Oh, well, it's a really kind of a fun process for me, because we do spend a lot of time together and we form a very close relationship. So I become kind of like the adult daughter of this point. And once we do that, I do their space plan. So I'm an interior designer as well. So we go to their home and we assess what they must bring, what is really important to them, and then we put that into their space plan. After that, we have just a host of resources that we just use for them as to where to possibly get rid of some stuff, whether there's going to go to a family member, a friend, or it may be consigned. So we allow them to have all those resources at their hand, and I take care of the whole process of the move, from all the logistics of them coming from the very beginning until when they are in our community finally. So I'm, like I said, their adult daughter who just takes care of all those little nuances that they don't know what to start or how to start with or what to do with.
Well, something we would all love to have in our life during that kind of a move and a transition. And I know you have an event that you're going to be putting on here shortly. Tell me a little bit more about that.
So in that event, we're going to be talking a lot about how to get started, what to do, bringing a lot of resources and a lot of things to them. There's a lot of questions that I get a lot of people ask, like if I have some antiques, where do I get rid of them? Who does that in town? There's other vendors that may even take care of everything from the very beginning until the very end, meaning they may go to your house, assess everything that you want to give, donate, give to a family member and all that, and they put it in a catalog and do all those things for you. So essentially it's teaching them and encouraging them that this is a manageable process and it doesn't have to be as daunting as we think it is. So
well, if
they might think it is.
If you or maybe someone they know at home is kind of on the fence or is thinking about this event is perfect for them to maybe put a lot of their mind at ease. I'm going to tell them more about that. But ladies, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Now, Maricela will be giving that free presentation on February 16th at Splendido titled The Upside of Downsizing. Reserve your spot by calling 520-762-4091 or by sending an email to info@splendidotucson.com. You can also visit splendidotucson.com.